Do y'all remember recently when we picked sassafras leaves outside and we've had them drying for a month here in this bag? This is a beach bag that I repurposed and used for drying my leaves, and I put them in my utility room outside in my carport, and it's hot, okay? And it makes them nice and crispy. Do y'all hear? Yes. So it is time. We've got to make that filet. And all filet gumbo is sassafras leaves that are dried and then powdered. And we're going to cheat. You can grind them, hand grind them if you want to. And I've done a few before just to say I did. But today we're going to use a big processor and do that. And then we'll have something for our gumbo. And I want to say, if you don't have sassafras leaves in your area and you watch my gumbo recipe and you want to make that gumbo, make it. Because I've not always had them in my yard either. And I've made gumbo many years without the filet, and it's just fine. It's delicious too, okay? So no worries. If y'all did not pick these sassafras leaves with me, if y'all missed that video, okay? Because we had to do it in August, right? And you're supposed to do it during a full moon at night. So we did that just to be silly, right? And I said it was just because it was hot during the day. They want you to go out at night. But anyway, now it's October and the sassafras leaves have turned red and gold and they're beautiful out there. So that's why they want you to pick them in August before September hits. And they dried during September. But I want to show you what we were looking for. I'm going to come close. First thing you see is you have just your regular lobed leaf, okay? And then you have this one that looks like a pitchfork, kind of what I say. And it's got the 3 lobes there. And then you have this one, and it is my all-time favorite one. It looks like an oven mitt, doesn't it? Isn't it precious? I know. That's my favorite one. But that's what they look like. Your one tree will have these 3 different leaves on it, okay? And so I'll try to link that on YouTube. And on Facebook, I will add it like in where the recipe should be. I'll add that so you can click that video and watch it if you want to, just to try to identify a sassafras tree. Maybe for next year, right? And they almost smell like tea to me now. Yeah, very much like tea. They don't smell like the sassafras root, which smells like root beer, okay? They just smell kind of like tea to me. It's a real nice little fragrance. I bet it would make a great little tea, just this as well. And something I wanted to tell you, I do a lot of times when I'm making just a small batch of it, I use a little coffee grinder, okay? Well, last year when I was doing this, or year before last with y'all, it took forever, all the leaves we picked together for me to use my coffee grinder. I think it grinds them a little quicker than your big food processor. Your big food processor takes longer, but you can put more in there. So that's going to be your call, you know. But literally, I will let this grind for about 5 minutes to get it powdery, okay? Because it gets down to leaves, but then, you know, you got to keep on, and it's going to get powdery on you. And get you a little strainer like this in a bowl. And so we'll just see. We'll see which one's faster, okay? To me, I think it's 6 one way, half dozen the other. You know, you're going to take a lot of time putting a little bit into that coffee grinder, or you're going to take a little time putting a bunch in here, but you have to let it run longer. So, like I say, that's totally up to you. All right, let's put the lid on here. We got that nice and full, fluffy full. Now let's load some leaves up in our coffee grinder. And if it's got a big stem like that and you see that on here, you can just go on and take that off because it doesn't normally grind up. That's usually left behind in that little strainer we're going to use. So you can go on either way. And that's one thing, you just can't overstuff this little coffee grinder. So I probably would go with this one just because I could put a whole bunch and walk away and do something else. I don't know. That's up to y'all. I just want to show you both ways. All right, let's see here. So I want to show y'all how powdery this gets in about a minute and a half in this little coffee grinder, okay? So you sure can use that pretty quickly, just for a small amount, all right? And you're gonna need your bowl, like I said, and then a strainer or a sieve. Put that over there so I won't lose it. And yeah, and it is nice and powdery already in about a minute and a half there. So I can just tap it through. And what happens and left behind is those little stem pieces, just like what I talked about. So I'll show y'all. I just tap it through here. It's so powdery, you literally have to kind of force it through and stir it around, okay? All right. Now let's check out this one. Let's see what we got here. This one in about a minute and a half is not as powdery, okay? It's still got big pieces in there. Not huge, but not powdery yet. Not like how I like it. You use Sassafras File, or gumbo filet, whatever you want to call it, to thicken gumbo. And it does have a little bit of a flavor. I like to put it in my roux. And then I also like to sprinkle a little on top for the fresh flavor as well. You can also thicken other stews and soups with it too. So, it was introduced to us settlers here, by the Native Americans. And so they taught us a whole lot of things, and I just don't want to lose that. I really don't. I see this is nice and powdery. Just like that. And we'll just tap it through here. Just stir and tap, y'all, and I'm going to show y'all what's literally left behind. It's just basically, you see how it's got the sticks and stuff in it? Like basically some pieces that you really don't want in there anyway, right? You really don't want those pieces in there anyway, do you? I know, it's kind of like the stems, basically, is all that gets left behind. And I like that they don't grind up, too, because then they're not in our stuff. And now you need you some pretty little jars or whatever. You put in a baggie, whatever you want to do. And we're left with this beautiful, beautiful product. Y'all see that? So pretty. And I love to put mine in these little jars. This is something my friends, two of my girlfriends at the town hall, Miss Gaynell and Miss D, they got me these little jars. These are little ball mason jars, and they are adorable. And I love to put things homemade in there like this. Y'all see, and I've got me a whole other jar, if not another one. That makes a lot, doesn't it? And I want to let y'all know that. Y'all saw that little bag. You know, it's like a small little pillowcase. And it filled this little jar up, so you can make quite a bit with it. I want to also show y'all the difference. Before I go, y'all hang on. This is a store-bought filet gumbo, okay? And I've used it for years, and it's fine. It just doesn't have quite as much flavor as this one, and I want to show you the difference in the vibrant color. That's the part that just blows me away. And I looked it up, and it said that it's because maybe some other stems and stuff gets into this and kind of discolors it, but I just want to show you the difference. Can you see the difference? Hang on. This is the store-bought. That's the store-bought. It's kind of brown in color, right? And this is the one we just freshly made. You see what a big difference that is? I know. Same thing with taste. This store-bought one, I can taste the filet, but it's not near as strong. Not near as strong as this one that we just made together. So anyway, guys, like I said before, if you don't have filet gumbo and you can't find any online or anything like that, don't worry about it. You can still make that gumbo and it will still taste just fine and delicious. This is just that little lanyard, you know, that little something extra is all this is. I'll see y'all next time.